The three biggest things that were slowing down my manifestations. I first got into law of attraction 15 years ago. And since then, I've also gotten into law of assumption and understand it much better. So here are the three lessons I have learned in how I was applying the law. Number one, worrying about the how. In my linear thinking, and I would approach it logically. And this is anything but logical. It's based on faith and almost spirituality and believing that you can align with things energetically. Worrying about the how and thinking of how it's going to get to me will slow down your manifestations because there is a variety of ways, some ways that you can't even imagine how things will show up in your life. You just have to think of the end and live in the wish fulfilled. Let the how go. That's not up to you. You leave that up to the universe, to consciousness, to work it out. And it will show up in a perfect way, in the fastest way possible under grace. And that's how you approach it. Well, number two, looking for signs. I think many of us look for signs instead of focusing on our state. I certainly did that. And I get a lot of you asking me about it because I did a video of signs. And you will start to see signs as a reflection of your consciousness because you'll begin to see movement either way, one or the other. But you always want to focus on the state that you're in, the emotional state, your imagination, and the beliefs you're having. And when you're feeling peace about something, when you're feeling calm, when you're in almost a neutral, indifferent state, that's a good place to be because you're certain that it's showing up irrespective of what's happening outside of you. And the more certain you grow in maintaining a very peaceful, calm state, you will not be triggered by anything that happens outside of you because you know that whatever is happening, whatever triggers, it's just a bridge that's leading you towards getting your desired outcome. The belief first starts in your imagination. You've lived it, you've created it in your mind, and it's only a matter of time before it shows up in your external world. Okay. And the third thing that was slowing me down, I was looking back a lot, living in the past. Again, it's not fruitful to look back. It's important to understand our past, but you don't want to live there and keep recreating it because you stay in that cycle. And many of us look at our past for proof and validation that things are not going to work and we're not going to get what we desire. And that just isn't true. You first have to change it in your mind and believe that you can have it and think differently and stop looking in the past. The only time we have is the present, and you can draw in your future and create it by going in your imagination, living in the end in the wish fulfilled. What would it feel like to have it? What would be happening around me? And feeling the gratitude and the joy that it's done, and then moving on with your life. And really, letting the past go. There's no point in looking back. That's a double-minded man who wobbles and goes back and forth. You want to stay firm and certain and confident and have faith and persist in your beliefs that what you created in your mind will come to pass. You're always a cause, and the outside world is the effect.